The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
First Week Podcast, recorded this late night, December 3rd, rather, 2025. And we are here with the Speaking Report, but right now with me for a couple minutes. And just going to comment with you guys before we bring in Kyle in just a second. Tonight is kind of a monumental night for me and for the show because will be the last podcast we record in this studio, this room, what do you call it? I've been recording shows in this room for now close to 8 years now. We had started doing now. I've been doing this podcast now. We're entering our 15th year next year. But 8 of those years have been in this room. It's amazing how fast time has gone. And it's, I don't make big deals out of that. What's happening to nothing big. We're moving. Our family, we're moving to a new place. Now, the funny thing is that we're not even moving that far. We're actually moving literally where we live at in our development. We're moving literally 2 buildings over. So it's not a big move, but it will be the first time moving out of this place in about 8 years. And I love this place, and I love this real room and studio I've built here over the course of the last 8 years. And it's come to an end after tonight's podcast. We have plans to do something hopefully bigger, hopefully a big project in a new place here. Hopefully, I won't necessarily open those. I won't necessarily disclose those ideas yet, but I'm hoping to do something on a grander scale with the podcast in the coming year or so, hopefully with the new move here. But this is the last show we're doing recording here in this studio. And through the years, first off, this show wasn't, you guys didn't even know this, because this show only up until the last maybe 2 years we started doing video consistently on the show. Was it late 2023 we started doing videos? Like, we did videos here and there. I mean, we'll do like videos only with like guests, whatever, but we never actually did videos all the time until now. And very rarely do we ever do non-video shows unless the guests that want videos, or if I decide to do an episode with videos. We always do videos. So yes, it was never really a big deal about, because you guys didn't know where I was at anyway, recording shows in the early years, because we would do the shows on audio only. But obviously, having the video aspect now, you've gotten a little more intimate now with what we do here on Earnestly Speaking podcast. And I just want to, tell you guys, and I just want to share with you guys, because I wasn't even going to say anything about this. I was going to say, well, we're going to move. You're not going to probably notice anyway. Maybe you'll know some of the background a little bit, but I figured I'd say something about it now because it's a big deal. I won't say I'm getting emotional about it, because one of the things I'm starting to realize as I got older is I don't like to get too attached to things. Unless it's my family or or my kids, or I don't get attached to things the way I used to, because that's life. Things change. But you guys know how important this podcast is to me in my life, and and this is the labor of love, and it's something I am very, very passionate about. So being or moving something that has been such a regular thing in my life for the last almost a decade now, in an area that's been like my let's be real, it's been my safe space. I do all my work here. I do it was not recording a podcast, it's producing here, editing here, creating here. All of my kind of creation is done here in this room, and so it becomes something that more than just a space. And again, don't want to get too attached to it in a sense, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's a part of you. You know what I mean? So, like I said, this is the last show we're recording tonight in this room. We're moving actually in a couple of days, so we're not recording another show until we get to the new place, which will be in a few days. So just want to share that with you guys as we get started on the show with Kyle in just a couple seconds. But yeah, that's all that's going on here. We're moving new studio. We should be settled in pretty quickly. Like I said, if we are, it's a possibility we're gonna be doing something more on a grander scale. Hopefully, I'm not gonna yet. We're working on some ideas in the coming months. If that works out. So I would love to do more in studio podcasts with guests, not just on here on recording and on remote, but also in person. And I may have the space to do that going forward if that plays out in the future. So again, so great 8 years here in this studio. Well, again, we shift the operations now to another place in a few days, and nothing will change. Obviously, the content still be the same, and we'll keep rolling on as we enter our 15th year of this podcast, and I'm very proud of that. That's that thing. So, all right, man. Here's Kyle as we begin the Student Game Report. First one in a few weeks. All right, it's the Student Game Report. It's the Wednesday night, late night edition Student Game Report, of course, with my man Kyle Nash here.
What's up,
Kyle?
Julius?
What's going on? What's going on, buddy? You look so tan today. How's you on a cruise? Something?
I did. Thanksgiving cruises. Highly recommend you do once in your life. And listen, I'm not going to say that I changed credit cards to get points towards another cruise. But I may have done that. I'll just throw it out there.
I would love to go cruise. Unfortunately, our good friend and my wife, Lauren, is anti-cruise, anti-boats.
Well, wrong, and that's okay.
Yeah, and she says we had text right now. She says we had text right now. She says we had text breakfast in the morning. I go, sure.
But yeah, you want to know where you can get really great breakfast every morning? A fucking cruise. Moving on.
Oh my God, that's for you, baby.
I'm still mad that I'm not having eggs Benedict every morning.
Benedict. Well, we got a lot to talk about. I think the last thing on the show was
every time I talk to you on a podcast.
That's very true. I recorded.
I'm saying that as you saying that to me, not me dissing you. Just
true. No, I get that. Now you already know this, and I recorded a cold open for this episode, but obviously
cold open burn. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, but as you know, this is now officially the last recording we're doing in the studio, because we are moving from here in 2 days.
That's right. You did tell me.
So we're actually packing the whole place up after tomorrow morning. Actually, so
were I younger, I would have offered help and then realized you did it on a work day. So a work day for me. You have a lot more fun, doing what you do, with the Kennel Club. Where you had that, podcast opportunity fall in your lap.
It's going pretty good, man. We had a good show today, actually. It was actually a good show.
No. Listen, you are definitely the fun guy on that show. It's a lot of fun with what you and the WP guys.
Right. We got a lot to talk about on the show today. We had a chance to talk about football in a while, at least on air here. And normally we go NFL first with the report, but I want to reverse that.
It's that time of year. We can't do that.
College is right now.
College.
And you would think right now when we talk about conference championships, the playoff 12 coming up on Sunday, but Lane Kiffin is taking all the oxygen out of the room. Lane Kiffin going to LSU. But it's not so much him going to LSU, it's the way it's happened, it's the timing of it all.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of feelings either way about this move and the way it's happened. What's your thoughts on it?
So there's a few things. I don't think any opinion on Lane Kiffin is just outright wrong and incorrect. I'm going to leave with that.
What do you
mean? Those who think that Lane Kiffin is all about Lane Kiffin, yeah, you're right. I agree with that. For those who think that Ole Miss shouldn't let him coach or any of that, yeah, I think you're also right. In this era, and I know the people out there who know me and have followed me on your Earnestly Speaking podcast for an extended period of time know that I also do work with the Black and Gold Banneret, and I'm currently covering a coach who was allowed to coach an extended time into the Fiesta Bowl, which I also cover. Not the Fiesta Bowl, I'm sorry, the Peach Bowl, where they got their controversial national championship recognition. And he and his coaches were allowed to do that before moving on to Nebraska. Of course, I'm referring to Scott Frost. Kyle, why is it okay with Frost and not with Lane Kiffin? Or even I'll give you the example of Summerall with Tulane and all that. Two huge differences. One, in UCF's case back then, still a G5 school, not a legitimate threat. Because also, at the time with UCF, NIL wasn't a thing. But Kyle's a thing now for Tulane. No. Nobody is worried about a coach recruiting former players in the G5 upper level. If they're good enough, programs like that are prepared to already lose them, or at least they should be if they're worth their salt, which I believe the Tulane Green Wave, such as they are a worthy program. Point blank. For the American. I don't think they should be a power conference team yet. Separate conversation. Punchline's this. When you're going from one SEC school to another, that is not the same, Earnest Christian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially one SEC school that's actually been pretty big the last 5 years. Another one who's one of the titans of the conference.
Well, and here's the thing. You can lose a donor and have a program go completely to hell. Just ask Mike Gundy of Oklahoma, formerly of Oklahoma State, I might add.
Right.
I think there's just too many other little intricacies to make it as simple as, well, he could do it. No. In this day and age, I think NIL has, and the calendar, let me be clear, and rightly so, going full clat and all of this, right? The calendar sucks in college football. Fix the damn thing. And I know people, well, coaches can do this. Coaches have a lot more risk than players do nowadays, EJ. That's the facts of the case. Fight me.
Didn't Ole Miss make because I know Lane's getting all the criticism, and I get it. But didn't Ole Miss, by putting a deadline on this whole thing, should get more criticism for that too as well?
Completely disagree, because they've seen this movie. Lane Kiffin is a performance artist in times like this when he's recruiting, right? This is the guy that allegedly purposefully did the bad recruitment video as like a joke for FAU, right? Mm-hmm. You know, this is a guy who is big and likes it, at least appears to like being in the headlines. And the way that Lane made this campaign in the public eye, so to speak, Ole Miss was like, enough of that shit. And I get it. There's advantages and disadvantages to a hard line in negotiations like that, but I liken it very much to the Packers and Brett Favre more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's my feeling on this too. Also, I don't feel bad for either party in this, because again, the loophole's there. You know, there's nothing illegal happen here. You know,
I don't think that's the conversation, right? This is football. This is about
this is morality here.
Ethics, I think, is the better word, but
ethics,
also
right. Yeah, right.
And I'll add this: if the thing that puts people in this precarious position is the calendar. That being said,
right.
If LSU wanted Lane Kiffin that bad, they would have let him participate. They would have kept everything under the rug. They would have allowed him to participate with Ole Miss and then made the announcement and broke all the news and stuff, right?
Right.
Now, granted, how hidden one can keep such things is a separate conversation, but I think the circumstances surrounding Brian Kelly's acquisition, ironically, at LSU proves that things can be kept under the radar with proper operation. But what is it that Robert Downey, a.k.a. Tony Stark as Iron Man, says? You would need a Class A diva, son of a bitch. And he realizes where Loki's attacking, right? In the Avengers movie. So I think it's like that. Everything could have been done clandestine and everything. If Lane Kiffin really gave a shit about taking Ole Miss to the playoff and attacking a national championship, to me, this proves beyond a reasonable doubt that isn't foremost for him. Does this mean I think he's not a good coach or shouldn't be allowed to operate that way. Listen, I've come around on the way Notre Dame buys their way to the top year in, year out. And it's a viable model. No. I'm not shitting on Notre Dame for this anymore. There was a time that made me angry, but now that college football has been just so nakedly money-based, all Notre Dame was ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Period.
This is not an issue if Ole Miss isn't this good. If Ole Miss is not in the top 12 of the playoff rankings,
no one
if they're a team, most likely.
It's because they're forsaking the playoff. That's correct.
Right. Otherwise, if they have 3 losses right now, hell, even having 2 losses, because you can make an excuse of 2 losses. Like, you know what?
Because with 2 losses, I think they still get in.
Probably. But say they have 3 losses.
Yeah, that's done.
No one gives a shit.
Which, side note, blame Texas, because now as a 3-loss team dethroned an undefeated team, if you have 3 losses, you'll already be behind Texas because they did that, unless they get a 4th loss somehow, which they can't.
Right.
So,
I guess my question now, because not only has Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss, now you have the coaching staff. I don't know if it's the whole coaching staff, but I think a good chunk of the coaching staff.
The main complaint is the offensive coaching staff, right?
Have joined him to go to LSU.
Correct.
Do you think it will hurt them in the rankings come Sunday? And should it hurt in the rankings come Sunday?
Yes and yes. Because I have to remain consistent. To have thrown your Seminoles under the bus.
I knew you were going to bring that up. I knew you bring those motherfuckers up.
Because you have to. I have to be consistent. And they had no business in the top 4. Fucking deal with it. Mm-hmm. Okay? They were terrible in the conference championship game and, in fact, looked like entire ass. The difference being, Ole Miss does not have that opportunity to prove themselves, or shall we say, disprove themselves like FSU did in their conference championship. That's the only real difference, is we won't get an actual on-field sample, albeit small. We won't be able to see that impact. Do I think it has less impact than an injured quarterback that was a Heisman Trophy candidate? Fuck yeah. Do I think it still has an impact? Maybe they drop a spot or 2, sure. Should they still make the playoff? Absolutely.
So you think you still get in, and you think it could hurt, but you think ultimately will not hurt them overall.
Well, here's my whole thing. You can't come out here and bitch about how coaches are entitled and rich and do all that, and then a move a coach makes penalize the players. You can't talk both sides of your mouth like that. You can't do it.
Makes sense. Now there is one of the biggest, and I'm looking forward to this on Sunday, how this plays out, because obviously we have, and we'll cover it in a second, the conference championship predictions on that. But there is a scenario brewing here, and it's been coming up for the last couple of weeks now, but it seems like it's going to happen. That it could be a scenario where the last spot could come down to 2 schools, Notre Dame and Miami. Mm-hmm. Now you have the situation where, like, one school in Notre Dame has 2 losses, but 2 good losses. Miami has 2 bad.
Y'all motherfuckers mock me when I talk about quality losses too.
Miami has 2 bad losses, but they did beat Notre Dame. So one of those 2 good losses Notre Dame has is against that school. Sorry, my microphone here. That school, Miami. So you have the situation like, what is more important, the quality of losses or the quality of losses or the head-to-head?
Head-to-head. Well, and here's the question I ask of you, EJ Christian.
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to sit on this? Who has been year in, year out the most overrated conference in fucking college football? And don't say the Pac-12. It doesn't exist. The ACC. You're damn right. The ACC. And it's so egregious that what you said in your pure football ignorance, because you're allegedly a basketball guy, you didn't even whisper anything about BYU. And that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
The Big 12, head to toe, is better than the ACC. And
question
was willing to acknowledge it because they don't watch the fucking game.
So Miami is pretty much like Florida State 2 years ago.
Worse.
Because they have 2 losses on top of that.
Yeah, because at least, for one, FSU at least lost the fucking games, won the fucking games. 2, FSU had an SEC loss. Check that. FSU had an SEC. Well, they caused an SEC loss by beating Brian Kelly, a game I was at, by the way.
That's right.
In their opener at the Citrus Bowl here, or, well, Camping World Stadium, more correctly stated.
Right. Right.
At least they had all of that. That FSU team was a good team, as much as I want to crap on the Seminoles. And there's lots of reasons to do so. I joke, EJ Christian, relax. But
I'm good.
I can't hate him that much, man. Listen, I don't necessarily think that Gus Malzahn is the best coach in the nation, but I like the guy. I'm not trying to crap on, but same as with Mike Norvell, by the way. That dude's gotten that's some bad luck over there at FSU.
You went here to talk to Zach about that. Zach can't stand the guy.
Well,
Norvell. To be fair to Zach, though, he's wanted Norvell out even during the 13-0 year. So.
And that's just more football ignorance on Zach's part. But
I'll let him know you said that.
What I enjoy is how he's always ready to bring a towel to any occasion. Anyways, out of drop of water, this motherfucker has a towel. That's all I'm saying. Shouts to Zach the degenerate. I think he'll take that as a compliment.
He will. Trust me, Zach is not. He is not.
He's meant as one. Let me be
tough-skinned. So
I mean that as a compliment. I really do. I like the guy. He just never talks to me. He's afraid of me or something. Anyways, I feel like the state of college football being what it is, when the ACC dissolves is the only time the Big 12 is going to have its actual fair shake. What's really going to be interesting, if BYU wins the title game in the Big 12, they won't. What will that actually do? And does that knock Miami out of contention as it should? Which, I mean, hey, listen, Notre Dame fans, your school chose to buy their way to the top. Something, again, I'm on record many places to understanding better than I have, certainly in the past couple seasons, if not beyond. I would argue beyond. I don't know. I need to go back and listen to some of the tapes. But I will say that this is the risk of not being in a conference. An argument can be made against you. You can give the committee an excuse. And sometimes they'll take it depending on
what's crazy. I don't know if you have the same feeling I do on this. I'll ask you this question though.
Sure.
So the playoff 12, I don't have it right now in front of my head though. But
yeah, of course you don't, because you're only the host of the show. You would
this just came up out of nowhere. I'll bring it up in a second. But I can argue that of the playoff 12 currently right now that was really revealed yesterday, that Miami, based on the eye test, not just based on records and all that stuff, just based on my own eye test, and I don't know how you may feel the same as I do, maybe you don't, they are at least better than half the teams in that 12.
Incorrect.
In my opinion. You don't think so?
Dramatically stupid. I think that's probably the only thing that's more annoying is people trying to convince me that Oregon is actually the 5th best team in the nation. And that's
okay.
Indiana being 2, by the way. Miami is not a good football team. I'm sorry.
I didn't think on there. I thought, wow. And look, I'm not here defending Miami. You know I can't stand Miami.
I mean, but let me rephrase. When I say they're not a good football team, I'm not here to say like, oh, they're ass. They should be ranked 100. I don't mean that. I mean, what have they really shown us? Their one win is a team that I keep hearing about, which is weird that I'm hearing about it, and I'm not the one saying it this time, but I keep hearing about is so overranked and underappreciated. I might add, by the way, that this win in question was so goddamn long ago, right? And it was only a field goal. It's not like you dominated that game.
But it's still a win, though.
And listen, that part should matter. If these teams were in fact tied, they're not.
We talk about quality wins quality losses rather for these two schools, and we agree that Notre Dame has 2 better losses. However, one of those losses against Miami,
correct,
number 1.
Yeah,
but quality wins though. Like I know Miami doesn't have much quality wins on the schedule. I mean, maybe we can find some in there. But where are Notre Dame? What are Notre Dame's quality wins this year?
Now, by whose measure are we talking about? First of all,
see, I'm glad you said that because you are a lot more critical about schools than the average bear out there.
Here's the stupidity of it all. Somebody's going to say to me that the cows of the South Florida Bulls are a quality win because they were ranked at the time.
Right.
They never should have been.
What was the final record, by the way? You know?
What are you talking about?
Do you know what the final record was by any chance?
Oh, for West Florida?
South Florida.
Yeah, West Florida. Correct. Because they're not in the South. 9-3 in the American, by the way. They're
Right.
not even playing in a G5 conference championship game. That's North Texas and Tulane. Just for everybody that has their context, right? So, I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm trying to find Notre Dame's quality wins this year, though. So, because that's the argument that people are using, the quality losses, and I get all that.
I'm not, listen, I it's a question that should be asked. I thoroughly agree with it. What I'm saying, see, this is the inconsistency of everything, right? Now everybody's asking where the quality wins are. Meanwhile, South Carolina beat numerous top 25 teams, and no one gives a shit last year. What the fuck are we doing?
I mean, they played. No. I'm going to look now. So they beat USC at home. USC 16 in the country now.
And for the audience, you're talking about Notre Dame, right?
Notre Dame, right? So they beat USC.
USC is not a quality win, but go on.
Yeah. There really aren't much quality wins in the schedule, bro.
For either team is the point.
Either team. So to me, this is where I lose my fucking mind, Kyle. If neither team has quality wins at all, and yes, both have, there is a separation of quality losses. Yes, we agree that Notre Dame's losses are better than Miami's losses. The problem is one of those fucking losses are against the same exact fucking team in Miami.
But here's the problem, guy. First of all, that was by a field goal. Then the next week, a team that went months undefeated in
A&M.
There should be no debate, but in the toughest conference in college football, they only lost by a point.
Yeah.
That needs to matter.
That, bro, I'm telling you now, that SMU loss to Miami had, that's fucking them, bro. That's fucking them.
Of course it should. Not as much as the Louisville one, in my opinion, but also yes.
No, honestly, Louisville, weeks and weeks away, months away from that loss, not a bad loss, actually.
It's a bad
because every school outside Ohio State maybe has a weird loss this year.
Buddy, that doesn't fly here. Okay. No, stop it. They're not a former defeated SEC team. Stop it. Fucking stop it.
Louisville is the only school I will give you. No. I think if both are washing on wins and both are quality losses, the between tiebreakers head to head. And I get the whole, they played week 1 or week 2, whatever the fuck it was. I get all that. But God, head to head's got to come with something, right?
It should. I just don't think these teams are close, because when you go down the list, right? Mm-hmm. The top team that either group is beaten,
right.
either team is beaten is Pitt. And really, how good are they? Like
Pitt is frisky, but not great.
Right, exactly. Right. But Notre Dame beat them both, and they were both beaten in dominant fashion. Check that. They were both beaten.
Pitt was 7-3. Pitt was 7-3 this year, actually. Not too terrible. But still.
Pitt was
7-3.
Pitt was 8-4 in an ACC that's ass. Stop it.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. They put the record up based on where they were at the time. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. And
okay. Sorry about that. Yeah.
This at the time measurement is such stupidity. I'm
right.
done with that.
No. I'm not just going to be all for the record. I said they're frisky. I didn't say they were great. So
that's very nice of you, FSU fan.
Right.
This is a Pitt team that beat an alleged Georgia Tech team that I'm supposed to be afraid of too, right? Just stop it. Can we get down to the nitty gritty? What the actual problem is? It's the ACC. Period.
I do agree with you. That I agree with you on. The same monster once again that showed his ugly head 2 years ago for Florida State. Now, granted, I still believe that if Jordan Travis was healthy, number one, they don't play like they did against Louisville in that conference championship, and they get in because of the unbeaten record, and they're healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really the bigger thing. However, but to your point, though, I'm going to agree with you on this one. To your point, though, the ACC being shit is hurting these schools. You have to run the table. You have to run the table.
That's the whole reason we have the playoff in any form at all. Yeah. Right? The BSC, no, I said it correctly. The BSC was abolished because teams were hiding behind weak-ass schedules, specifically the ACC, and among them your Bobby Bowden Seminoles, by the way. I said what I said.
You just what you said.
Hey, listen, you win football in a basketball conference, and sometimes losing it too. I'm not respecting you as much. The punchline is this guy. If we don't attack strength of schedule, we are compromised. And I've said it since last year, EJ. SMU was the reason. Clemson was the reason. Indiana was the reason the first time then. And I don't even have to bring up Notre Dame losing to a G5 because at least later they came to prove themselves worthy in the playoff. If you think we're that bad, prove it. Oh, Penn State, you couldn't? Go fuck yourself. I get it. Okay? But, but at this point, teams hiding behind weak schedules is compromising the playoffs. It's terrible.
I agree with that. What was their record? SMU's record for the rest of the year wasn't all that great. Definitely 500, right?
What are you talking about this year?
SMU's record this year. They were 8-4, not horrible, but again, ACC's trash though, man. What we doing here, bro? Like, look, I'm a fan of the school in the ACC, and I can confess that myself.
Let me be clear about something. You're bringing what other teams that came up from the American had to fight to get up and earn a spot at least one season. SMU came in and dominated immediately. If it weren't for Trevor Lawrence in the COVID year, Notre Dame would have done the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Is there a scenario, Kyle, that the committee lets both these schools in?
No, I just don't think there's enough room. I don't think there's enough room.
It will come down to Notre Dame, Miami, most likely.
It shouldn't. And granted, it would make me wrong in my prediction. I'll lead with that, and that would be somewhat a suffering thing. I would laugh thoroughly if BYU somehow gets in. If they play Texas Tech close and they sneak in over both of them, it's not going to happen, mind you. I'm not even saying
they have to win, right? They have to win. Well, obviously, if they win, they'll get the automatic bid. So
right, that's exactly what we can't say it that way. What would be funny? What would be just as funny in your defense? Let's say BYU beats Texas Tech, they won't. And then Tech sneaks in over one of these humpy bumpies. Oh boy.
Yeah,
those blue bloods are going to be pissed.
And the funny thing is, I hate Notre Dame, Miami both, so I can care less. I hope they both miss the fucking playoff. Personally,
whatever you say, Irish.
But I also agree with the fact that both of these schools, in my opinion, based on eye test, are top 12 schools in college football. In my opinion, unfortunately, this is not how it works.
Now, yeah, right. And the best defense would be, well, this is trash. Notre Dame doesn't have a college championship to hold them down. Miami couldn't even make it. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
All right, so let's get to so you think Notre Dame gets in or Miami gets in?
What do I think will happen? I think Notre Dame gets in.
I think so too.
And this is one time where capitalism will work in our favor in college football.
You'd be a lot pissed on my fans in my area for sure. All right,
problem.
Look at some predictions here for conference championship. I mean, I'll some of these games here. The ones that matter really more than anything else. Get out of the way. AC title game, Virginia and Duke. Who wins?
Who the fuck cares?
Exactly. I got Virginia. Who you got?
Sure.
Okay. The big one, Ohio State, Indiana.
Ohio State all day. 2 touchdowns at least.
Are you sold Indiana though being good now, or are you still meh?
Am I sold on Indiana being what?
Okay. Is Indiana now 2 years now? 2 years in this turnaround, are they a quality team to you in your eyes now? 2 years in.
No, what they're proving is that the Big Ten actually is what people used to accuse the SEC of, and they're a top heavy team conference. Period.
Now, are they one of the top heavy teams? I'm obviously no.
Indiana, no.
Ooh, you still wow, okay.
No. What do they have? What do they have? Oh, they beat Oregon. Oregon's been overrated for fucking, I don't want to say decades, but at least 1 decade, right? What are we doing?
But Kyle, how many good teams are there then? Because every team you keep saying it's overrated. Like, okay, we said how many teams are you going to say that's actually good then?
That's a great point you're bringing up. But everybody wants to shit on the SEC, don't they? Or people want to underappreciate the Big 12? Why aren't we talking more about Texas Tech?
Ooh, that's a good point there. All right. Of course, this game we see almost every freaking year. SEC championship, Georgia, Alabama. Who wins this one?
I got Georgia. I think Georgia wins and knocks Bama out of the playoff.
I'm picking Georgia here in this one, but would it shock me Bama wins this game? Nope.
Of course not.
So loser's out, right? No matter what.
No. Well, that's really hard, bud.
Bama's definitely out if they lose.
That's correct. I agree with that. And the reason for that isn't what you think. The reason for that is Texas.
Yeah.
How do you put in a team ahead of Texas that beat undefeated Texas Tech or Texas A&M? You can't fucking do it. You can't.
No. And they have the quality losses too. Also on top of that, too, they lost to Ohio State only by 5 points.
Tell them.
So yeah, I didn't want to see them in there, but you know, it's what it is. Big 12 title. Texas Tech and BYU.
Texas Tech, and it's not close, guys.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oil money floweth. They got what they paid for. I'm not mad at it. I'm wow. The numbers are staggering. $4 million on the defensive line. And I personally spoke to a young man in Lee Hunter when he played for UCF with the black and gold banneret, who took $1.9 million to go to Texas Tech. I like it a lot. I'm glad he made the right decision. And I have sources high in the university that said that this is me flexing my black and gold banneret muscle a little bit. The high in the university at UCF that said that Lee Hunter went back to them and said, hey, for $1 million, I'd stay. When you're getting enough money, here's the point. When you're getting enough money to your institution is saying, for the love of fuck, go get your money and take care of yourself. That's a lot you're giving up. A, it says something about the class of the university. B, it's the filthy, stupid money this guy's getting to go play at Texas Tech and get oil and allegedly, according to some alleged reports that aren't necessarily true, cartel money. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's bad. You go do it.
Oh God! All right, it's at the NFL now, man. All right, before we get to the coaching meter,
Coach Frost at UCF agrees with you, buddy.
Before we get to the coaching meter in the NFL and playoff locks, I have to ask you this question, Zach, Kyle, because you know you have been
a top 3 team in the NBA. Oh, sorry,
shut the fuck up. You have been. I don't want to use the word hater, but you do toe that line. When it comes to Drake Maye, you've been one of the biggest Drake Maye critics.
Stop it.
I have heard in the last 2 years.
Is the reason they're successful.
Okay, I get all that. I get all that. But you have to put the work in, and Drake Maye this year has been doing so, and the numbers are bearing out also on top of that. He's the best deep ball thrower right now in the league currently. I'll keep it simple for you, Kyle. Are you finally starting to buy into Drake Maye? I'm not saying MVP or not. I'm saying, are you, Kyle Nash, starting to finally buy even a little bit of stock in Drake Maye?
See, I do have a white hat. It's not a 10-gallon hat, but it's going to have to do. Hail to the no, to the no, no, no.
Hey, okay.
No.
So Kyle, since you still have that, you stubborn ass fucking Kyle
you
Nash.
You mean accurate, but go ahead.
In the game, what will it take for you to buy into Drake
playoff game? Prove me wrong. Play somebody who isn't struggling, who doesn't have adequate teammates around him. And that was the main reason Josh Allen was an MVP last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beat somebody.
No, I agree. The one thing, because when we did a podcast today on my day job, one topic today was which streak is more impressive, the Broncos or the Patriots streak, and I said the Broncos because the Broncos have, they still play close to the vest. The Broncos have played tougher teams,
and it's not close.
It's not even close. They beaten both Super Bowl teams last year. This year,
correct?
You know what I mean? So
have they played the Chargers a second time yet? I don't.
No, not yet. And they lost the game by only 3 points.
Chargers. That's true.
Yeah, they lost. They lost and should have won that game. The Colts game they should have won. They got screwed.
A full strength Chargers team, I might remind.
That's correct. That's correct. So the Broncos have been a more impressive schedule, in my opinion. But you play who you play. I get that. Drake Maye's been very impressive. But I'm with you. I got to see a playoff win or two. Two playoff wins, actually.
I think this says less about Drake Maye, though everybody wants to make it about. People are just used to cheering for the Patriots, to be fucking honest, okay? That's the issue. But I think the Patriots and Drake Maye and all of that says less about Drake Maye and the Patriots and more about the ineptitude of the Tennessee Titans general managing office.
Listen,
I said what I said.
We sat here on this podcast, I think the day Mike Vrabel got fired, and said they're going to regret this shit. How y'all looking? How y'all idiots looking now?
How do you like me now? Now that I'm on my... Anyways.
And I got this, and right now, as we sit on this podcast on December 3rd, 2025, the Pats right now have the best record in football right now, with Mike Vrabel as coach.
Which, by the way, another thing that this Patriots team does is completely disprove your guy, allegedly, Bill Parcells. Your record, you are what your record says you are. Bullshit.
I think that's an embellishment.
Let me turn something on your head real quick. I'm going to be the host real quick, and this is a revelation I had while I was recording Wednesday night's Duval Dive with Travis D. Holmes. Make sure you check it out on the Duval Dive YouTube channel or on the Believe Podcast Network, by the way. You look at the top 4 teams right now in the AFC, Ernest Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots, the Broncos,
mm-hmm.
the Jags, and it's still the fucking Ravens somehow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Weird. Which one of them is a Super Bowl contender?
So, reputation is the Ravens.
None. The answer is fucking none.
So I have
taking so long.
So I have a theory about that.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm about to expose you.
Here's my theory. And Kyle, you actually might agree with me on this. Actually, follow me along here.
All right, Janet, do what you got to do.
There's two things. It's just twofold here, bro.
By the way, when I called you Janet, do you see I killed 2 birds with 1 stone right there?
Shut the fuck.
I took a shot at you that Scrubs episode still hasn't happened, and I referred to you being exposed. Go ahead.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we got to get to that soon because the new show's coming in February.
That makes me sad. Continue.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll probably talk about it soon. If there's a world in 5 weeks, in a world
in 5 weeks, yes,
in 5 weeks that the Ravens and the Chiefs do miss the playoffs, this will be the most wide open AFC we have seen in generations.
Sure, but that doesn't.
No. Therefore, all 7 teams are live.
Stop it.
By default, including your Jaguars.
No. First of all, they're not my Jaguars. I just cover them for the Duval Dive.
Ding. I did it for the ding for the record. Okay?
You totally set me the fuck up.
You're welcome, motherfucker.
What can I say? Hey, it's your day to say you're welcome.
You don't agree with that? You don't give that theory?
No. Here's why your theory's dumb.
Okay. On my show, tell me I'm dumb.
Here's why your theory's dumb. If that happens, you've guaranteed an NFC victory. That's all you've done here.
I think we're getting it regardless.
Happy. Sweet dreams, son.
Hold on, Kyle. Sure. I think we're getting that regardless who's in the Super Bowl on the AFC side.
Oh, shit. You're calling your side here.
I don't think that's a conversation. I think we're getting that regardless.
Well, and in your defense, I imply that by stating the current state of the fucking tiers, right? The seed. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
It's wide open. If the Chiefs and Ravens are buried in January, they're not in the playoffs, then yes, the AFC is wide open the first time in generations. All 7 teams in the playoffs will be live. There's no clear-cut winner. I don't care how good. I don't care about the records of the Broncos and Patriots at that point. I don't give a damn.
And it's fascinating when you put it that way, right? Because the goal is survive and advance until you get to the tournament, and then in the tournament, you're supposed to survive and advance, right? And listen, what you're saying at its source sounds intelligent. Like, again, the only thing that's dumb is none of them are Super Bowl contenders because all you're doing is putting the plate in for the NFC. Like it used to be.
Well, I think my largest point, though, Kyle, is that they're. Let's assume my scenario plays out. No Baltimore, no Kansas City in the playoffs, right?
Right.
All 7 teams are contenders by default. I can see any of 7 teams going to the Super Bowl because
I've
that's what I'm
got
saying.
Your point. And,
Right.
and you're saying contender is just having made the Super Bowl. I think,
no. Get to the title game.
Okay, fine. But I think my caveat to that is that I need to take you seriously as somebody who could beat the other representative, right? I'll flip it on its head, right? The Colts, when Peyton Manning won his first Super Bowl finally, with Joseph Adai as the running back, all that other bullshit.
Bob fucking Sanders, who didn't play in that Super Bowl because he was hurt, if I remember correctly. That's right. Yeah.
He didn't play in a lot of that playoff run.
Yeah.
And that's not disrespect to Bob Sanders. Let me be clear.
He's got to stay healthy.
That NFC was so ass that year. It didn't matter.
Chicago. That was young. That was still like first year Drew Brees in
Rex
New Orleans.
Grossman, buddy, was the quarterback. Devin Hester was the only thing worth watching, and he got the first score of the fucking game. Right? Yeah. And everybody, it's the first time two African-American coaches faced each other in the Super Bowl. Not that we should be that worried about, but that time was a big deal, obviously. And it didn't matter.
Yeah. Totally agree with you.
I mean, it didn't matter on the scoreboard, I should say. It was socially.
I remember saying the 2 weeks before that the AFC title game to the Patriots. Oh, and we lost Kyle for a second. Lost Kyle there. Let me see. Get Kyle back in a second. Hold on a second. All right, we got Kyle back here. We got Kyle back in the house. No, I remember saying 2 weeks before that game, that Super Bowl 41, that the AFC title game to the New England Patriots and the Colts that was your Super Bowl right there.
By the way, nobody talks about how many games Thomas Edward Patrick Beaver Brady has lost when it's the conference championship. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah,
fascinating.
Yeah, and by the way, he's actually 2-3 against Peyton Manning in the playoffs all the time.
Fascinating.
Just saying. I think it's still a GOAT though, but you don't.
And you have every right to be wrong, especially when you're finding the best evidence against yourself.
Okay, whatever, bro. Whatever.
Go get your mug, you son of a bitch. It's tool time.
But I do agree with you on one thing. I do agree with you that the AFC is massively weak. Massively weak. I will take the top 4 to 5, even more 5, 6 teams NFC over the AFC teams.
And here's what's weird to me is it's hard to figure out kind of why, right?
I know.
All the best quarterbacks allegedly are in the AFC, right? Patrick LeVon Mahomes II, Josh Allen, Lamar Demetrius Jackson.
Joe Burrow's back.
Joey Burr, though technically he missed significant time, so I'm not counting that per se. Of course, you kind of have to because the motherfucker's always missing time. No disrespect to Joey Burr. I've talked to him. I enjoyed him before it was cool. All of that. Shouts to I think that was the Blue HQ Sports Media Pass with whom I covered the Fiesta Bowl. That was before the black and gold banner, and obviously punchline's this. I don't think it's necessarily quarterback play. I think teams that have done better on either line, defensive, offensive, or otherwise, are what you're seeing rise to the top. Vrabel comes in with the Patriots. They play more smash mouth football. They get better. The Broncos have a defense like we've not seen in a long time. And so long as Bo doesn't nix his team's chance of winning, they keep going. They're doing what they're doing. The Jags have significantly improved their offensive line. The only one that's questionable among the division leaders is the division that's fallen apart literally fucking everywhere, right? The Browns are ass again. The Bengals had their quarterback issues. Lamar Demetrius Jackson missed time, as did a lot of offensive linemen, right? And the defense had its struggles. It's a whole goddamn mess. And the Steelers are winning by default because they have arguably, I'm going to say that Mike Tomlin is the best coach in the division, but it's a lightsaber duel regularly between he and Harbaugh.
I can't believe we live in a world right now that the AFC North this year is probably the second worst division of football.
I can do better. Are you ready?
No worse than that?
Nope. Follow me.
Okay.
The AFC South has a very real chance of having 3 representatives.
Oh, yeah. What a question.
That should blow your fucking mind, EJ.
It does blow my mind. And that's after Houston started 0-3.
Correct. And listen, I know some of it is off of crazy shit, right? Davis Mills putting up 20 offensive points against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Granted, was it at Everbank?
No, it was in Houston.
It was on the road. You're correct.
That was a crazy comeback, right?
Boy, what an awkward thing to talk about on the Duval Dive.
Yeah.
And I had to do that from the Kia. I was just about to cover the Magic. It's a whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. Duval Dive YouTube channel.
Ding.
I already did the bell. No, man, that's man, listen, here's what's funny. As much as I've heard you, me, Huddle Up Boys, whoever talk about how drunk college football is, fuck off. The entire liquor cabinet was consumed by the NFL this season. Yeah. Okay. Like,
in fact, no, that's not the case right now. But we have right now, if the playoffs are today, we can do playoff locks right now if we want to.
Sure.
The AFC right now. So right now, here, this is the AFC first. Right now, if the playoffs start today, here's your seeding. Number 1 seed is the Patriots in the bye. Your 2 seed the Broncos. Your 3 seed the Jaguars. Your 4 seed the Ravens. Your 5th seed the Chargers. 6 seed the Colts, and 7 seed the Bills. But on the bubble, a game behind the Texans. Mm-hmm. Then you have the Steelers, who are technically 2 games behind the wild card. The Chiefs also 2 games behind the wild card at 10. The Dolphins, of course, whatever. Like 3 games behind, so whatever. So, and the Bengals are still in it, but by virtue, they have to win the division pretty much to get a chance.
Can we stop, please?
They got to win the division to get in, in my opinion. They're 2 back in the division, though. That's their path to get in the playoffs.
They're 2 back in the division with what? 4 weeks?
5 to go. 5 to go, but they play all these teams at the end of the year.
That's true. It is a cluster, to your point. I would need to reserve my opinion there. That's true.
They already beat Baltimore this year, and
Correct.
they beat Pittsburgh already this year.
So they have the opportunity to secure the sweep. That's possible. I agree with that.
On both teams, in fact.
Correct.
So
correct.
So this scenario, what holds here?
Fuck. And I think next week will be clear, specifically in the South. If the Jags beat the Colts, a take that was once referred to all the way back, and I think it was July or August, as being the crackheadiest take I could come up with, was the Jags winning the South and making the playoffs. And it might come to pass, because if they beat the Colts, all they need is one more win to have 10 and have a pretty weak schedule remaining, right?
Yeah.
Obviously they if they beat the Colts both times, they sweep and get the advantage. Duh. Another Titans game on the schedule puts them in a position to secure 4 division wins, which is huge. Huge in the AFC South, Earnest Christian. Just very huge. Absolutely something that gives them an advantage like no other team in the division really has a shot at that, in my opinion, except for the Texans, ironically, who have 4. Which is weird. I mean, props to the Texans for getting back, on the horse and making something of their season. Now you have to beat the Chargers, the Colts again, and the Chiefs. Good luck. By the way, the Chiefs game is in prime time.
That's on Sunday.
Correct. That's a rough ask.
That will be if they win that game, the Chiefs are buried for good. I think.
The Chiefs are pretty damn buried now.
Probably they have to win. They have to win out. Here's my take on the Chiefs though, and I'm on the Chiefs homer on every fucking platform.
Correct.
I will not believe the Chiefs are dead for this year until they're actually dead.
I'm not mad at you for thinking it, but sir.
But the signs are there, bro. The signs been there for a while.
You're a father of 2.
Right.
2 very cool boys, by the way.
So are you always father of 2.
I don't have 2 boys. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, boy and a girl. Stop. You have to father of 2, right?
Right. But as one who has a daughter,
yes.
This would be better advice for me, but I'm going to instill it to you, because every time this comes up about the Chiefs and their chances, I need you to watch a clip from the movie Frozen.
Oh no, I hate that movie.
You need to let it go.
Never see.
Okay, that's what I'm telling you.
Look,
let it go.
I'm not saying it's sensical. I'm admitting this is nonsensical.
Okay.
I just don't. I'm just not going to sit here and say Pat Mahomes and company and the reader's done, and all of a sudden, as soon as I turn my back, these motherfuckers win 5 in a row, and all of a sudden we start with January, 11-6, make a wild card, and all of a sudden here come the fucking Chiefs one more time.
Listen, just because you've been posing as a Giants fan ever since they did that kind of thing back when they won their first Super Bowl recently. Yeah, I know you stole that. So
garage sale.
Yeah, you stole it from a garage
sale.
the best garage sale thief.
Ever.
Don't be rude. No, man, listen. I other years, I would be fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick LaVon Mahomes II has had miracle moments.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
People have figured out what I've warned people about with this Chiefs team. You attack that offensive line from the outside, and then when they overcommit, you beat them inside. Creed Humphrey can only do so much.
Right. The only saving grace right now for the Chiefs with the remaining schedule is that.
Oh, and by the way, the Chiefs' defense has gotten a little worse. That's the other problem.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit worse. Their hardest games of the year: Texans this week, Chargers the week after, and then the Broncos week 17. All home games. That's the only saving grace. The other 2 games they play on the road.
Well, and you list the Chargers. Their O-line situation is so boned.
Right.
I think the Chiefs will win that game.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. And then your other 2 games in that stretch on the road are 2 of the worst teams in football, the Titans and the Raiders. Yeah. So, again, I'm not saying they're going to win out, but would it surprise you, Kyle Nash, that if in January we're still at 11-6 Chiefs here? No.
Listen. I'm going to take my advice. I'm going to let it go. All right? But if they beat the Broncos and I'm back to worrying about them again, you can do your best Owl Powell from Sergeant Powell from Die Hard. Welcome to the party, pal. Then you would have authority to welcome me back into the building.
Okay.
Until then, let it go.
All I'm saying is I get it. All I'm saying is that I will when NFL.com says eliminated from contention, then I'll believe it. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right,
consider.
All right, so you play. So will the Pats get a bye week?
Yes, glosses right over fence.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said, "Good for you, fence sitter."
No, I ride the Chiefs until they die. That's it.
No, I'm saying, let it go.
Can't do it.
The only thing more done. Why can't I quit you, Patrick?
Can't do it. Won't do it.
Why can't I quit you, Patrick? I completely changed that show.
That was good. Or to pass the 1 seed at the end of the year. I say yes.
A 1 seed?
They got a bye week right now. They come out of the bye, play Buffalo, and then Baltimore. I think Denver's a couple more times before. I think Denver was a game or 2 before the season's over.
So a few things. For one, it's not that those 2 games are the issue. What the bigger issue is, it's the Jets and the Dolphins. They're going to get handed those. I get that. To your point, if they go 1-1 in those games, they're going to get
Pats. Okay. And to boot, Broncos schedule. They play the Raiders this week, right? After that, it's a fucking rough schedule the rest of the way. Packers at home, Jaguars at home, Chiefs on the road, and then Chargers at home.
I get it.
It writes itself.
And by the way, don't say anything silly like the Jags are going to pass it, because I just okay. And I had to do this on the Duval Dive. I know I've said the Colts have played teams throughout the year that have been awful. Yeah. It's not Patriots bad, but it's pretty bad. They're going to split with the Colts. I'm convinced of that. Right.
Okay.
The other piece with the Jags is that Broncos game would be huge. the Jags have a horrible record against strong defensive lines, which the Broncos clearly bleeping have, right? The Titans, okay, that's okay, fine. They'll be the Titans. So for me, we'll come back to the Jags conversation if they beat the Broncos. To your point, I certainly agree that of the top 3 AFC seeds, they have the path of least resistance, perhaps.
The Pats, right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah, so,
the Jags do.
The Jags do. So you agree to 1 seed Patriots. You think you will not lock the Broncos a 2 seed just yet?
I'm not locking any of the top 3 yet.
Oh, not in the Patriots?
They all do. I mean, the Patriots, again, if they are the frauds I think they are, they could blow both those games. So no.
Will you lock the Ravens at least as the AFC North winner?
No.
Okay. You think that the Steelers will win that?
They're still with Joey Burrow back? Are you shitting me?
So Cincinnati's still alive, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
There's currently a 6-6 division leader.
Yeah.
And someone's tied with them at 6-6.
Right. Will you lock up the Chargers though as a wild card somewhere? Yes or no?
Yes. Absolutely. Because they've won enough games and they're going to do that. I feel confident in the Colts as well.
Okay. And the Bills?
Boy, they're weird, aren't they?
They got Josh Allen though.
Yeah, they do. And I think that's the reason alone I'll lock them.
And their schedule is
the Pats.
So their schedule is the schedule is the Bengals this weekend.
Okay.
The Patriots on the road, the Browns on the road, which could get weird because that Browns defense is fucking really good. Philly at home, and then the Jets at home week 18.
Okay, so Philly's on a tailspin until they show me otherwise. They're 2023 all over again.
Right. We'll get that in a second on the NFC side.
You're waking way too much of your Browns again. Stop it.
No. Buffalo should win that game. But I don't think
also
it's
stop it.
Right, okay. Also stop it. Yes, Daddy. They should get 3 more wins on the schedule.
And in doing so, the Pats are compromised. That's what I'm getting at, right?
Ooh. Well, the only thing is that the Pats, though, unless you say the Pats are going to lose three games on their own. Remember, the Pats are 3 games up right now in Buffalo.
That is true.
With the hybrid head-to-head too also.
Yeah. No, they don't have the tiebreak. They're playing each other.
So far, they have 1 more game left. Buffalo
so it
lost
doesn't. That tiebreak is horseshit. It doesn't matter yet.
Okay.
Stop it.
They're gonna make up 3 games. I don't know. I don't know if they can make it up. We'll see.
And, yeah, listen. Your boy Drake Maye may expose himself and lose to the Jets for all I know. Okay. No, he won't. But still.
So here's what I'll say. I'm locking New England into 1 seed, unlike you. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. While I believe Denver will get in the playoffs, though, I will not lock up any of the 2 and 3 seeds just yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock. Obviously, I think we're both gonna lock the Pats AFC East. I think I'm prepared to lock up the Bills for a wild card spot.
I'm actually more confident in the wild cards teams than I am the division winners.
Of course,
even that. I'm actually willing to lock out the Baltimore Ravens, even though it's weird. I feel better about Baltimore closing shit up than Cincinnati. So much ground to make. Cincinnati, first of all, Cincinnati won't even win this weekend, so that closes the door for me. Okay.
Well, I gotta wait for the outcome of that game, which I've kind of leaned that way with what I just said, but I'll see it first. Go ahead.
Right. Steelers are free falling. The Ravens are not free falling. They just have issues. The Steelers are free falling
because of quarterback injury. Let's just call it.
Well, that and everything else, and on top of that.
But mostly quarterback issues.
No, I do think Lamar's hurt though still. So if that continues, maybe we have a different story. But I lock Baltimore at 4 seed. I lock New England as the number 1 seed. Denver and Jacksonville playoff teams, yes. Division winners, not yet. Chargers will be a wild card no matter what. I am not locking the Colts just yet. I'm not. Sorry, Danny Dimes in his injury can change things there. And in Buffalo, I'll lock them up as a wild card as well. Because I still think I see a world
Welcome to the party, pal.
Because I still see a world where Houston gets in.
And very much exists. And it depends on the outcome of Sunday's game. And it won't be CJ Stroud that decides it, obviously. Right. It will be that Texans defense.
And I still see a world where KC can get in. Because it's too much.
If I may, they both can't. What you're
Agreed.
actually saying is you see a world. Let me say it intelligently for you so you don't sound so dumb on your own show. In a world where the Texans and the Chiefs play each other in a primetime game on Sunday, the outcome of that game predicts a wild card team. Right?
Boom. There you go.
What
There you
can
go.
I say? Except you're
All
welcome. Welcome,
Thank
baby.
you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, NFC.
Yes.
NFC.
Oh,
Here
shit.
you go.
The conference.
The better conference.
Yes.
Number 1 seed right now, the Bears, 9-3.
Does
Number
not
2 seed, the Rams, 9-3.
Your eventual 1 seed, in my opinion.
Agreed. A 3, your 3 seed, 8-4 Eagles. Your 4 seed, 7-5 Buccaneers. Your 5 seed, 9-3 Seahawks.
I'm about to say there should be 3rd seed is your 9-3 Seahawks.
I fucking agree, buddy. They are scary. Your 6th seed, the 8-3-1 Packers, and your 7 seed is the 9-4 Niners.
Bro,
So impressive, dude. Kyle Shanahan, coach of the year, in my opinion.
him
and Vrabel.
The only reason I'm not no, Vrabel does not. Okay, let me rephrase. Vrabel should be a factor. He should not win.
I said Shanahan. I said Shanahan, so you look at me.
You did say Shanahan. Liam Cohen is a better candidate than Vrabel. Stop it.
I don't know, man.
Fucking stop it. Don't you
11-2, bro.
A 4-win team last year. A 4-win team last year. You can look on your phone all you want.
No, I know that 4-win team last
them
year.
on the Duval Dive.
I know. I'm looking at Patriots record last year. Patriots last year. I think we were 4 wins also, not worse.
Yeah. But the Jags did it in what was at the time the worst division in football.
The Pats were also a 4-win team last year.
Right. But what I told you is the Jags last year were in the worst division in football.
Okay. What sticks here?
Oh, shit. I forgot the game. Sorry. No.
I'm sorry. Real quick before we go further.
Please.
On the bubble, Lions 7-5, 2 back in the wild card.
Weird, isn't it?
Cowboys 6-5-1. The Panthers 7-6.
That's weird.
They can steal the South. Careful.
Yeah.
That's it. So what sticks here?
You know what?
Who are you locking?
You know who I didn't hear you mention?
Who?
The fraud cons.
Oh yeah, the fucking number 11, like 4-8.
You should have known that was coming too. Shouts to Danny Thompson.
So technically, no, that's too far back, bro. They can't make up 3 games. Can
no,
they?
no, stop it. Stop it. Shut up. I'm joking. I'm trying to mock Danny Thompson, and you're fucking up the rotation.
Damn it. Continue.
Anyways, shouts to Danny Thompson, Mike.
Yes, of course. Of course. You are not locking the Bears at 1, are you? No.
I led with fuck no. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say something that people are gonna get angry about. Not you.
What else is new?
Right? Not you. You're a Cowboys fan. I can't lock the Eagles right now.
For what? The division?
Correct.
Why do you say that?
Dak Prescott. We keep hearing whispers about him as MVP. This dude is having a year that we haven't seen in a fucking while. If somehow, I don't think they will, if somehow the Cowboys beat the Lions in the Pontiac region there, right?
Which I think they will, for the record.
Wow. Okay. If that, so of course you do, Homer. But
Homer.
If they win that game, our good friend Big Jim Neese of the Huddle Up podcast will be screaming, "Don't do that! Don't give me hope!" Okay, and rightly so.
Suck it up.
Well, wait, he's a Lions fan. What am I talking about? Anyways, boy, what an awkward Sunday night for Jim, a Lions fan playing against the Cowboys. Anyways, no, the NFC is tough. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's the locks. I'm going to stop pussyfooting around here. I think the Bucs make it. Baker Mayfield will do enough.
They win the division. They get Mike Evans back soon.
Right.
If not this week.
I'm going to lock the 5 seed
Seahawks.
This is risky. I'm going to lock the 5 seed. I could be a bitch and be like, I'm going to lock the 5 seed with the NFC West. Stop it. I'm going to lock the Seahawks at 5.
I agree with you on that one.
So if they get the top seed, I ain't mad at them. I'm going to lock the Bears winning the division because I don't love Jordan and the Packers. I just can't trust them for some reason.
Well,
money.
They play this weekend.
Well,
we'll find out more this week.
Prove me wrong, Bears. Okay, how about that shit?
Mm-hmm.
I too, call me a homer all you like. I also have the 49ers locking a playoff spot. No, I don't. I lied. I misread. I thought they played a different team in week 15 than they do. So that's my bad. Yeah, the Niners got a rough. The Niners might miss because they have the Colts, Bears, and Seahawks. That's a tough trio to finish out the season with. And in those weeks, Liam Cohen will pass Kyle Shanahan for Coach of the Year. I'm joking. Yeah, these idiots are about to give it to Vrabel, aren't they? Anyways, God, in the line, boy, that I can't give you anything more than LA winning the West, and that's risky. The Seahawks at seed 5, and that's risky because Seahawks, right? And I'm going to lock the Bucks winning the South because I'm not a fence sitter like you.
Here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 teams you see here in the playoffs right now currently will make it. All 7 teams will make it. Okay.
Wow. So you're
the order might be different.
Your Cowboys. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
There's too much going to make up, bro. I think Philadelphia will put it all together. They'll win.
What do you mean? There's half a fucking game.
No, they're up 2 games still. They're 8-4 and 6-5-1.
Right, that's a half game, right? Oh, it's a game and a half. That's what.
Well, the tie makes it all fucked up, bro. I don't think I just don't know if Dallas can make up that up. I think Philly will win 3 more games to put it away.
You think Philly will win 3 of the following? You think they'll beat the Chargers?
They'll beat the Chargers. Herbert may not play.
I agree. Yeah, okay. Now you're convincing me. Because they have 2 Commanders games against an injured squad. I think they should.
Right.
They've lost a lot of games they should have won, though. That's the other thing. Anyways.
Really?
I shouldn't say a lot. That's too much. But they have lost games they should have won.
Well, they're a champ, so they shouldn't lose any games. Well, not many games, but yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
But like losing to the Giants is a thing. Losing to their division games, that's fascinating. Their division games have been a problem.
I just think Detroit's fucked. I think Detroit's fucked because they're not going to make a ground on Green Bay or Chicago to make up to get in play for the wild card.
You don't think they can surpass the Niners?
No.
Interesting.
Dan Campbell calling plays now? No. Sorry.
Well, and then let's not forget they do play the Rams and Bears both on the way out. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. No. They should also the Giants too on top of that a couple weeks ago. They should be sitting at 6-6 right now, not 7-5.
Well, I listen. I'm glad you bring that up. You shouldn't do that in front of Giants fans.
I'm just saying that. Calm down. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that those signs of them being much worse than they were came a lot earlier than people realize.
Well, I don't think that's fair. I think a more difficult schedule is a factor here. And also, yes.
Yeah, San Fran's on and I know that San Fran bye week this week too. Also, perfect timing. Perfect time this week for bye week before they go to the stretch run. Perfect timing.
I mean, it balances, I guess, the fact that their schedule's awful to finish. But I digress. Yeah. No, listen. Normally you do this too soon anyway because you start doing the shit at week 8 some years. You're doing this at about the right time, and I'm still just as damn confused.
Well, the Niners. This is why I forgot about the Niners, though. Your last four games the Niners have: Titans win, Colts on the road with a hampered fucking Daniel Jones. That's a win. Okay,
but you need to slow the fuck up on that.
He has a broken fibula, bro.
What defense do the Niners have that can stop MVP Jonathan Taylor?
Stack the fucking deck, bro. Stack the line.
With what?
If that's all they're going to have is a running game, they're screwed. Okay. The Bears, I think it's a fake hustle with the Bears. And then the Seahawks game might be a throwaway because even though that might be for seeding and whatever, I think by week 17 they'll be in the playoffs anyway.
Wow.
So, who gives a shit?
Your Niners confidence is scary there, Cowboys.
So my point is Dallas's only way in the playoffs is winning the East. That's it. They're not getting the wild card.
I still think that's very much on the table.
Well, if Philly loses this week in San Diego, yes, I said San Diego, bitches. Okay, if Philly loses in San Diego,
sorry,
exactly. Then we have a conversation. Let's pin that to next week. If they lose in San Diego Monday Night Football, we have a conversation happening about that. But combined with Dallas winning tomorrow night against
So what
Detroit.
I hear you saying is you can't lock it, fence sitter.
I can't lock. Okay. Let's put it. I'm confident. I'm still confident that Philly will put it all together.
But you're not locking it. There's a difference.
I will unlock it next week though if they lose on Monday. I think they'll win.
Lock and unlock, you cheating son of a bitch.
It's called a key, bitch. It's called a key.
It's called a key.
It's called a key.
The key to this is you have to admit you were wrong first. That's the key, motherfucker.
I think Philly will put it all together. Now, obviously, if they lose on Monday, we have a different conversation coming up here. So that's that. So those are my teams. Okay, before we get out of here, I want to do coaching pen meter. Since we haven't had a chance to do this in about 2 months.
Go for it.
I put together 7 coaches here that are supposedly on a hot seat, a warm seat. There's something to throw in there.
James Franklin, 10. No.
James Franklin's gone.
That's the joke.
And hired already, bro. He got fired and hired in literally fucking 2 weeks.
I forgot Franklin got hired. You're right.
1 to 10. 10 being, of course, pen meter highest. 1, whatever. I got to do it. Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh.
Stop it. -52.
You think so, really?
Absolutely.
I got to be honest with you. I do see a world.
In a world where Pittsburgh fans are dumb as fuck. And the front office finally gives in to them after however many fucking years it's been.
But I do think, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't have intel there, even though I am employed by the Roonies and all that on my day job.
Allegedly.
I do see a world where there's consideration about gutting this entire damn thing from the ground up.
No, because the only way that happens is if they move GMs because they're not satisfied with what they've done with the quarterback situation that we've warned them about years back that we keep bringing up with the way they handled Roethlisberger. I get it.
Therefore, I'm putting it at a 5. It's in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not there. Sorry.
50-50.
-87. I said what I said.
6-7. No joking.
Motherfucker. By the way, you want to know what number was on my luggage tags getting off the ship?
6-7. You idiot.
It wasn't me. It was my son.
By the way, Eli, my oldest son, Eli canceled me today because on the show this morning on the podcast at my job, we used a 6-7 joke on there. He found out. He's like, Dad, I'm done with you.
Why?
He's like, you're not cool. Stop saying that.
Which, by the way, when my son started getting restless in the line, hey, Corbin, what's our luggage tag again? 6-7.
Oh, my God. Corbin, really?
He was cute.
Oh,
shut up. He was cute.
All right. Zach Taylor in Cincinnati.
Higher than one would think, but I don't. Damn. I'm going to say 5. And the reason he stays on is I think he and Joey Burrow have a good relationship. He, in my opinion, isn't the problem. Now, when they announce hiring a new GM, it'll be 57, obviously. But until that GM gets replaced, I think Zach Taylor's all right.
I'm going to go 3.5. Because I think once again, when Burrow gets hurt, there's always that built-in excuse.
Correct.
But at some point, you can't rely on that anymore. So I'm going to say 3. I think he will bet.
This same argument will impact another coach I'm sure you're about to bring up.
Yeah, he will come out next year, but I think it'll be a very warm seat, though. Not hot, but very warm. Keep an eye on that one next year.
So be it.
All right. Miami Dolphins coach, Mike McDaniel.
Speaking of, 5. I think the sentiment today is that it's not his fault. And yes, they got rid of Chris Greer, allegedly, right?
They did.
The new GM is going to determine whether Mike McDaniel's around. The answer is probably no. I'm saying 5 today because I don't know who that new GM is yet.
the more they win games, the more he's going to keep his job. But the thing is, I don't think
McDaniel isn't the problem.
Really, who's the problem then?
I just mentioned Chris Greer, and not even in and of himself. I don't hate him like Dolphins fans even did back in the day when I was writing under Antoine Staley at the Dolphins Wire. Back in, I think, what was it, 17, 18, right?
Right.
I'm joking.
I know you shit. Come on now.
The issue was all the money tied up in Tua, in Tyreek, and these assets, the Ramsey experiment blowing up, all these assets that they threw money at that ended up not even appearing on the field very often, right? When that happens, you don't have a good full roster, which means Mike McDaniel can call and coach and do whatever he needs to do. If you don't have players, you can't fucking play. Period.
So you went what?
I said 5.
I'm going to go.
I essentially said it's just as likely as Zach Taylor today, with a high chance of that increasing. I'll put it.
I'm going to go 6, but it was once upon a time a fucking 9 and 10. So
yeah, and then people had a chance to breathe and realize that maybe he's not the problem. I've always been there, but I need to see the organization do more to prove to me that they're off.
Although I will say, even in some of these wins they've had recently, there was some questionable decisions he made on the field. So he's
always going to be aggressive. I think that's it's Mike McDaniel makes a lot of those decisions that he's a genius if it works, and otherwise he's a bum, right? But the problem is when you have dudes again that aren't reliable, it's a whole other thing.
Right. All right. Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland.
Why this is hard is the narrative that has come to pass with Shedeur. Also, Myles Garrett being unhappy is another question too. I'll leave that off to the side. This way he's handled this whole Shedeur Sanders scenario is the only thing I think that makes him being fired a threat.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't be. Most intelligent Brown fans, which not really, it's kind of a paradox. I joke. Shouts to the Barking Browns podcast. That's hard. I don't think he should be fired.
She did say that for record.
It's hard?
That's hard.
I hope so. Otherwise,
I told you you're welcome.
Hey, it's your day to say you're welcome.
It's a crust.
Yeah. I have no idea what that means, so I'm gonna leave it to go. But
just imagine.
I just work here, man. Listen, I'm gonna put him at a 6 because the Browns are the Browns and will make the mistake to scapegoat him. The correct answer is to move the fuck off of Dylan Gabriel and work from there. Shedeur is a project. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm one of the people that was pro Shedeur in the draft. Do I think he should have been a first round pick? Not necessarily. Do I feel like he should be 5th? Fuck no. Come on, what are we doing? But yeah, that's awkward. But I'm gonna say 6.
It should be a 2, but because the Browns were retarded as hell, it's gonna probably be a 7 or 8.
Okay, there you go.
So there you go. That's simple. So, by the way, I hope I do fire him and then Giants hire him as a coach. So good.
Look at this. Well, I mean, as a Cowboys fan, you want to see
Shut up! Shut up with your shit.
I got you good on that one. That was good. I by myself.
This will be a good one here. John Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Negative 577.
Oh, come on. Stop it.
No, fuck you. We're in a year where Lamar Demetrius Jackson gets hurt. You're going to try to blame Harbaugh? Stop it. Fucking stop it.
Well, he has a built-in excuse now.
That's my point, ass. Wait, come on.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to go 4.
That's higher than it should be, bro.
Probably, but yeah. This year's been such a weird year that they're gonna get a pass.
Yes, I literally just said that.
Maybe a 3. Screw it. Whatever.
Thank you.
All right. Here's a good one here. Here's a good one though.
Okay.
Sean McDermott, Buffalo.
Ooh, yeah, he's a higher one, isn't he? There's where I'm going to get people pissed off. 7.
I'll go higher.
Really?
I'll go at 9.
Because the pervasive thought out there is that he's wasting Josh Allen. I get it. It from both from a football and a business standpoint, it sucks. And I'm not here to tell you that I think McDermott's a bad coach. Do I think GMing's part of the problem here? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're an SBOB team. And if my 3 plays out where in the world where the Ravens and Chiefs don't make the playoffs, the Bills are at that point, the most experienced team in the playoffs at that time.
What is an SBOB team for those that don't
Super
know?
Bowl or bust. Okay, not saying win a Super Bowl, let's get to Super Bowl. Okay. So if
you're at Buffalo, just getting to a Super Bowl isn't fucking enough. Okay.
If these 3 teams are in the playoffs, for example, if the 3 teams that have cost you Super Bowl glory in the last 5 years, Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals, or Baltimore Ravens, only beaten Ravens in the playoffs a couple times, not in playoffs. What's your excuse at this point?
This team's battered as fuck, but still, it's not enough. I agree with you.
That's it. So there's no excuse this time. So 9. Nothing to do with this regular season. It has to do with the expectations of this
I am
team.
not saying no expectations kill coaches, guy.
That's right.
Fuck so, yeah. I say 9 to your 9. Or I don't say 9 to your 9. I'll leave it that way. That is finally, a 99 you've thrown out there.
And finally, Raheem Morris in Atlanta.
6
is tough.
But I think he stays so they have some continuity with Michael Penix.
You would hope so. Because this is year 2 of Raheem Morris, I believe. Year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, teams give coaches 3 years before they move on. But sometimes teams get impatient after 2 years. Now, I haven't heard anything about infighting about Morris, him being in the hot seat. I'm just throwing this out because of how bad they've been this year. And last year, of course, was, another down year. I'm going to go 6 because it's a possibility. Should he get fired? No, but he'll be in the hot seat next year. That's for damn sure.
I don't think that's a question. At some point, the police start to track trends in crime and realize you're fraud.
Yeah. Now, do I see a world? Yeah, I definitely see what you do there. Do I see a world that Black Monday, Raheem Morris, first coach fired?
First coach? No, I don't think that happens.
No, but would you be? No, my question is, would you be shocked you see his name on the ticker? I would be shocked.
Shocked that I see it. Only that I would be shocked that he's first is what I should say.
Okay, fair enough.
That's where I meet you. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
If they fired him, I'm going to be like, oh my god.
I'm a little higher than the average, but he shook his down of the year. But he will be one of the hottest seats in the league next year.
I'm down. I get it.
So, anyway, all right, Kyle Nash. We recording up to like almost midnight now. Look at that. Wow.
What are you, a pumpkin bitch? What?
Good job, buddy. No, you are. Look at your face. Shit, fucking tan as hell.
No, listen, let me be clear. Don't be rude. Okay?
Don't be rude.
Not a pumpkin. Definitely more of a tomato.
Orange face.
No, I mean, honestly, like, I'm not burned, but I did catch sun. There's
you definitely got a lot of sun there, brother.
The Greekiness is certainly making its way back out. I am golden brown and crispy. Giggity?
Anyway, plug away, brother.
Of course, I'm Kyle Nash, student of the game. You can find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at the SOTG. Make sure you check me out on Facebook as well at the Student of the Game, as well as the Duval Dive covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for the Believe Podcast Network with my friend and personal champion, Travis T. Holmes, as well as my work covering the Orlando Magic, EJ Christian. Sure, they lost to the Spurs tonight without Wemby, but what the Magic have done without Paolo is kind of insane. I will be at the
trade him.
Shut up. I will be at the Cup game featuring your Heat. Say the line, EJ.
Go Heat, bitch.
Battling your Heat on Tuesday. That should be interesting until it's not. Granted, if Paolo doesn't play in the Cup game, Bam is going to make a lot more of a difference. We'll see what happens there. Will Desmond be the bane of your existence one again? We'll find out. So yeah, make sure you check out and follow me and my socials covering all of that. And yeah, man, listen, an honor, joy, and privilege to see you again, you sexy bastard. Until next time, everyone, class dismiss.